whole family, you heard me? Long story short,
Mhm.
when I'm walking out the projects and I got my plate in my hand, my little red beans and pork chop, you heard me? And I got nigga done gave me 2 ounces of weed for like $100 and gave me a clear price, you heard me? And I go back to the van with these Southern California niggas, you heard me? They trying to figure out how the fuck I did it. Man, this boy done came back with a plate and he got the
Hey,
fucking weed. You
for
heard
real,
me? Yeah,
Lord.
dog, you heard me? It's just a different vibe in Northern California,
Man,
dog. You
but
heard me?
you different though too though. You remember you a people person.
Yeah, but my
You
people
now you
person,
now you
them-
you is an adapter. You remember
yeah.
Drake is a culture vulture. You one thing with you, I know shit. We go man. Look, it's gonna be everything gonna be straight. Long as I'm fucking with you, cause I already know you not.
Hey, Will, this shit is fucking gold.
You know what I'm saying?
What they call it? What they call that gang? No Daniel. No,
The
no.
Nathaniel, that's the 14s. The
But that's
14s.
like they like they. And I heard they be tripping on that too though.
I'm gonna tell you
That's why
why
I
they
said,
trip.
cause I ain't no number Cali, cause tell you me, you start fucking dog like super heavy, you hear me?
See, when I lived in Cali, bro, I lived in Southern California, but I spent more time in Northern California. It's some
But
crazy
they go,
shit. No,
but
no.
they
I
go.
used to live in Dago in LA and shit, you heard me? But I used to spend all my time in San Francisco and Oakland, Sacramento, you heard me? I used to spend all my time up there. You heard me?
Yeah,
So when I'm chilling in San Diego and Los Angeles, you dig the essay homies out there. The only reason they fuck with me at all is because I wasn't from out there. You heard me? If I was a blood or crip from out there, they wouldn't have fucked with me. You heard me? But they knew I was from down south, so they'll be like, all right, we fuck with you. You heard me? But the southern Mexicans, which is the 13s, the Serenos, they're beefing with the 14s, which is the northern California.
nothing.
Now, I get along better with northern California people anyway because when I went out there in the early 2000s, they was bumping our music. They dressed like us. They had the gold teeth. They had the dreadlocks. You heard me? You could relate to their music more. You heard me? So it was a better vibe. You heard me? Plus, everybody from the Bay Area, they're originally from Mississippi, Louisiana,
Louisiana, Alabama,
Alabama,
Texas.
yeah, shit like that. You heard me? So I was out there in California. I was out there in we was in Oakland, California, and I'm in a van with like 10 niggas in that bitch. We all from San Diego, you heard me? We all from Southern California, you heard me? Some type of way we ran out of weed, you heard me? We ran out of weed, you dig? So niggas ain't know what to do, you heard me? They ain't want to go to the dispensary, so we passing up and down the fucking street like where a project was at. Bunch of niggas looked like me out there, you heard me? Dreadlocks, gold teeth, you heard me? Man, I tell these niggas to let me out on the corner. I'm like, I'm gonna go find some fucking weed from somebody, you heard me? I said, man, let me out on the corner. Nigga let me out on the corner, you heard me? I went to walking. Caught up with these niggas that was on the corner, you heard me? Introduced myself, you heard me? Hey man, I ain't from out here, you heard me? Nigga trying to get some smoke. The nigga with the dreads on the corner smoking the weed, he like, you from Louisiana, huh? I'm like, yeah, bro, you heard me? He like on Bloods, man. My mama from Louisiana, you heard me? My grandmother from what do you say? My grandmother from Louisiana. Man, you gotta come home and meet her right now, you heard me? So bam, we walking through the project. I'm walking, I don't even know these people. I'm walking through the project with these people. We're in Oakland, California, you heard me? I ended up by this man house, you heard me? His mom and that bitch cooking red beans and fried pork chops, no lie.
Oh man, Louisiana.
She cooking red beans and fried
As
pork
as
chops,
as that
man.
must be on. That was Monday, must be.
I don't remember what day it was. You heard me? It could have been a Monday. You heard me?
Said everybody know
Yeah.
Louisiana Mondays, red beans
Red
and
beans,
fried pork
fried
chop.
chicken, fried pork chop. You heard me?
What?
So, man,
Every
look,
Monday.
look. We walk in the house. You heard me? His grandmother and that bitch cooking. You heard me? She from uh, she from New Orleans somewhere. I don't remember exactly where she was from, but she was from New Orleans somewhere. The grandmother. You heard me?
From out
So,
with.
yeah, she done fell in love with me. You heard me? Baby, what you doing up in my, how you ended up over here in the projects, baby, this and that. You heard? Then gave me a plate and everything, you heard me? I'm like, Mama, I'm just looking for some weed. You heard me? She told her grandson, man, hook him up with some weed. Get that boy some weed, you heard me? That's our family, you heard me? Long story short,
Mhm.
when I'm walking out the projects and I got my plate in my hand, my little red beans and pork chop, you heard me? And I got nigga done gave me 2 ounces of weed for like $100 and gave me a player price, you heard me? And I go back to the van with these Southern California niggas, you heard me? They trying to figure out how the fuck I did it. Man, this boy done came back with a plate and he got the
Hey,
fucking weed. You
for
heard
real,
me? Yeah,
love.
dog, you heard me? It's just a different vibe in Northern California,
Man,
dog. You
but
heard me?
you different though too though. You remember you a people person.
Yeah, but my
You
people person,
now you
let me-
you is an adapter. You remember
yeah,
Drake is a culture vulture. You what they with you? I know shit. We go man. Look, it gonna be everything gonna be straight. Long as I'm fucking with you, cause I already know you know how to talk to people. You hear me?
yeah.
Good dude. Know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Nigga
But
know how
my
to
but
talk conversation.
my magic wasn't working in Southern California. You heard me? You did
No
like my
man,
persona.
them
Yeah, I
nigga,
swear to God, dog.
them niggas
I,
straight banging.
I had more problems in Southern California than I had anywhere else, bro. You heard me? You think we got it bad out here in Texas? You heard me? But I had to go through some shit in Cali, dog. I had to go through some shit in Southern California. You heard me? Because I was riding off of my own name. I didn't never go out there and say, oh yeah, I'm from Pasadena, Denver lanes like my brothers is, and I ain't never said I'm from the brims like my nephews is in San Diego and all this shit, you heard me? I had to go off of just what I had to work with, you heard me? When
Mm-hmm.
other niggas had fucking gangs backing them up or the family backing them up, you heard me? I went out there raw on some shit like, nigga, I'm just out here on my own, you heard me? So when people,
That kind of the best way to go, cause you don't know what's what and who and what or what and what or
oh
who fucking
man.
who.
When niggas found out I had family and they found out who they was, you heard me? I had no problems no more, dog. You heard me? None whatsoever. None whatsoever, dog. You heard me? When niggas started meeting my people and shit, cause my brothers, one of my big brothers, you heard me, was in prison when I moved out there. You heard me? So I ain't get a chance to really rock with him until like a year or two later. You heard me? But when niggas found out who my people was and this and that, you heard me? I really ain't had no problems at all. Especially when I go to Pasadena, you heard me? And niggas like, yeah, man, that's your brother. That's your brother, you heard me? Oh, that's your big brother right there, you heard me? I ain't had no problems at all. Come on, blood, we got you. Yeah. Oh,
And
that's your uncle?
that's
Huh?
love up because that's
Yeah.
love up because you
But
know
that's
your mom from Cali and you know you were raised in Louisiana, but that's good that nigga know one thing like going to Cali that granny, your grandmother, like your whole family, your whole mama side is out there. You know what I mean? And shit, I know that's just a good feeling to know, like, man, y'all ain't out here and the name ain't bad, you know, because sometimes, man, you have family somewhere and your family name will be bad. So if you
yeah,
do try to go back that place and you be like, man, you know, this my family, they be like, man, fuck your family, or, you know, them niggas, that's some fucked up niggas, you know, them niggas,
yeah, yeah,
jackals, them niggas, you hear me? So niggas wouldn't respect you. So, you know, it's good that, you know, when you go back to Cali, you know, one thing, shit is, you know what I mean, is a respect, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
it's better now, I mean.
Yeah, bro. You heard me? But I got my own foundation now. You heard me? Niggas know me. You dig? Slim, the stick man, you heard me? Like, they don't even know Buzzy. They know the stick man, you feel me? And we out there, nigga, always out there cutting up. You heard me? After I got everything situated, you heard me? Now, nigga was homeless. Nigga had to start robbing shit. That's how they started calling me the stick man, you heard me? And I was like, fuck it, bro. You heard me? The worst thing that's gonna happen is I could go to jail. You heard me? I'm like the homies in jail, you heard me? It ain't nothing. You heard me? So I started taking all type of penitentiary chances, you heard me?
You gotta
And that
survive, man. You know that
yeah,
survival mode kick in when nigga homeless, boy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, they had a fucking nigga back in the day, you heard me? I used to go to Garyville. I used to be in California and I go to Garyville, niggas used to hit the train, you heard
Mm-hmm.
me? And sell them guns for $100, you heard me? I used to bring them bitches back to California and sling them for like $700, $800 a piece. I went out there and bought
Mm-hmm.
10 guns and bought them bitches back to California. You heard me? That's how I got started. You heard me slinging
Yeah.
pistols and shit. Yeah, that's how I got started, bro. You heard me? Then I started fucking. bringing dope back and forth from California to Louisiana. You heard me. This was back in the early 2000s. You heard me, and we rocked like that for a little while. You heard me. Nigga was making about 10, 20 bands a month doing that shit. You heard
Yeah.
me. And I was doing that shit back and forth till a nigga ratted on me in La Place. You heard me. Had the police come pick me up at the Amtrak station, and I ended up getting probation. You heard me, but I couldn't leave the state. So that's when I moved back to La Place, and I'm staying back in La Place, and I done met my wife and got married and all this other bullshit. You heard me, had kids and shit. But I think if a nigga didn't rat on me, I think I'd still be doing it, or I'd be in jail right now because I would have got caught doing it.
Everything happened. Everything played out well, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nigga could have out that bitch fucked up, drug and bad.
yeah, yeah. I was just telling Vito the other day. You heard me? Well, he was telling my son, cause my son ain't know that I met Vito in California 20 years ago. You heard me? In San Diego. You feel me? But all Vito cousins and shit used to fuck with this household that I used to live at when I was homeless. I ended up hooking up with these Crips, and they ended up letting me stay with them and shit. You heard me? But all Vito people used to go over there. All his little cousins, they was girls. You heard me? But they was all bloods. You see what I'm saying? So, nigga, I got jumped one day. You heard me? I got jumped one day by like 10 niggas. You heard me? It was a mistaken identity type of situation. You heard me? But it was like, yeah, man, the first four niggas that approached you, you heard me, you knocked the niggas out. You heard me? You think I had a fucking Thunderbird bottle in my hand. In a bag, I had two Thunderbird bottles, you heard me? This fucking dude that I was with, I'm with this grim nigga, you heard me? A blood, you heard me? He see the little Mexicans riding on the little motor scooters. Remember there was like motorbikes back in the day, like little ninjas and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the nigga like let me ride the bike right quick, you heard me? So I'm standing there with the Mexican dude. He gotta be like 13, 14 years old, you heard me? The black dude, you heard me? The blood, he done drove off on the bitch, done took the boy's scooter. So I'm sitting up
Ah,
there waiting with the dude, like, when he gonna come back, you heard me? Dude think we together. You heard me? I'm like, bro, I ain't from out here. You heard me? I don't know that nigga. He a blood nigga. We just hooked up like a week ago. We been smoking and shit. I don't know this nigga. Now the area
yeah.
we was in it was a Mexican neighborhood. You heard me? So the Mexican dude that got the scooter took, his daddy was the big dog of this neighborhood. You heard me? It's called Shell Town in San Diego. You heard me? So he hop on a fucking trip. That's when they had the Nextel trips. They popping all through everywhere. You heard me? He hop on a trip. He done hit his dad up. Boop. Dad, get over here on such and such street. I'm over here. Blah blah blah. You heard me? My first sign of California shit ever, dog. I had been living out there for like a year and a half and ran into no gangster shit besides normal shit. You heard me? This some real California TV shit that I'm about to explain to you. You heard me? So a nigga hop on the chirp. Man, the nigga daddy came, dog. They must have had about 10 cars pull up full of Mexicans, like right quick. Woo, woo, like they came from everywhere, you heard me? So I'm talking to the dude daddy, you heard me? You dig? Now they racists out there by trade. Mexicans don't like black people in Southern California by law. You heard me? So he looking at me, mugging me and shit, but I'm telling the dude like, say, bro, look, I ain't from out here. I ain't take your son shit, and I don't know a homie. You heard me? So long story short, you heard me. Dad done left. Me and the Crip niggas, you heard me. We went. You talked to my Crip cousin. You heard me. When the booster shit went down in the
Oh yeah,
40s,
yeah,
when he
yeah,
had the
yeah,
guy
yeah,
called the
yeah,
gun.
yeah, yeah.
You heard
Oh
me.
yeah, yeah.
He was there. You heard me. So all of us go walk to the store. You heard me. We in the store, they done got the liquor and the swishers and shit so we could smoke the weed and shit. But I'm scared for my life, man. I'm scared. I see like there's some gangster shit about to go down, and I'm scared. I don't want no parts of this shit. You heard me? So I'm like, man, I'm about to leave y'all niggas at the store. You heard? I'm going back to the crib. You heard me? So I'm walking through the fucking little hood trying to get to the crib. Nigga had to cut through an alley. You heard me? Nigga, it was just like boys in the hood. Nigga, when the boy pulled up on Ricky. You heard me? Well, they
Mm-hmm.
pulled up like 4 cars deep and cornered me in. You heard me? So I'm trying to go talk to the dude. You did one of the Mexicans that know me. I stayed on the street from him. You heard me? He like dirty south. What a school at? You heard me? I'm like, man, I don't know. I ain't even get to say I don't know. So I say I don't know. That nigga hit me. Wow, you heard me? Now they got a big black dude on side of him. Talking about this nigga big, dog. You know how them California niggas just come with muscles?
Yeah, them niggas be bad.
Man, this black ass nigga dog, you heard me? Like I said, I had the two Thunderbird bottles in the bag. When I got hit by the Mexican, he hit so soft, dog, it felt like a fucking volleyball hit me in the face, you heard me? I'm worrying about the black nigga, you heard me? So I done split the fucking bag. I done hit the black nigga with the bottle. You heard me? Wow. You heard me? When I hit him with the bottle, the same Mexican that hit me the first time, he done hit me again. You heard me? He done hit me again, but they got another Mexican behind me. I done turned around and hit him with the other bottle. That bottle broke. The first bottle didn't break, you heard me? When I hit the black dude, you heard me? So the black dude got his composure right quick, you heard me? I done hit him with the bottle again. Wow, you heard me? So I'm trying to get to the Mexican that hit me, you heard me? But the other one coming from behind me again, I done turned around and elbowed him. This part of my elbow caught the nigga dead between the eyes. I don't. It must have been a miracle. It was perfect. You heard me? Then them nigga just packed me out. You heard me? You heard me? I had a big old cut on my head. I had to cut my dreads off. That was the first time I had to cut my dreads off. Cause my shit was down in my fucking stomach. You heard me? I had to cut my shit off. You heard me? So the same Mexican that rolled up on me, you dig, the dude daddy, he pulled up in the car while they packing me out, you heard me? And told them niggas to stop. You heard me? So they got up off me, you heard me? I walked to the crib with one Chuck tail on, you heard me? While everybody was
Damn.
outside on the corner watching, like 100 people, they out there watching this shit. You heard me? I walked back to the crib with one Chuck tail on, my nigga bleeding. You heard me? Like damn, dog, they just did it to me. You heard me? But I didn't know. They was like, boy, you was handling business out there. You heard me? Like the first four niggas you heard me, you knocked them niggas out. You heard me? I didn't know. You dig? All my little karate, taekwondo shit I took as a kid, it all came out. You heard me? Yeah, and I fucking went to warming them niggas up. You heard me? But the blood nigga that I met in the hood when I first moved to San Diego, he a big dog. You heard me? He found out that a black dude was in some Mexican business hurting a black man. You heard me? You dig? He got DP for that shit. You heard me? He got DP for that shit and put off. That means you gotta move out the fucking hood, nigga. We want your rag and we gonna beat your ass, nigga, and don't claim us no more. You heard me? Real nigga shit. So a couple days later, I'm at the crib trying to heal up. You heard me? I'm like, bro, I want my get back on that Mexican that hit me. You heard me? The first one that hit me, he stayed right down the street, but they got this bar protected. So two of the little young Mexican homies that used to feed me, dog, because like I said, I was homeless. They used to come give a nigga chorizo and egg burritos like every fucking morning. Made sure a nigga had something to eat, give me a little weed and shit. Mexicans look out for me. Southsiders, I'm still friends with a nigga, the bomb fucking, his name Jose. Jose and Tufo. Tufo dead, you heard me? But Jose and Tufo went vouch for me with the big dog Mexican that just came home from prison. You heard me? And my first day in Cali, I met this big dog, you heard me? I went to the store early in the morning trying to buy some cigars, you heard me? And I asked this Mexican, I said, hey man, where the weed at? Fucking Mexican flashed on me. Pull out his fucking knife, like, do it look like I knew where the fucking weed at? You heard me? And I'm like, hey man, I don't want no trouble. I ain't from out here. First thing I say, that's my go-to line. Man, I ain't from out here. I don't know nothing. You heard me? He like, well, you need to stop asking questions, get your shit and get the fuck out of my face. You know where you at? You in my hood, you heard me? I ain't understand that shit. So fast forward, when I got jumped, these two Mexicans came and got me and said the big homie won't talk to me. You heard me? Man, I walk in this fucking dark ass room. This boy had a fucking a Rambo knife. You know Rambo? Rambo. He had
Mm-hmm.
a Rambo knife. You heard me? Eating an apple, cutting that fucking apple up, eating that bitch. You heard me? He like sit down, dirty south. You heard me? I'm like not many. I'm scared. You heard me? Man, I'm
Yeah.
scared. I'm about to shit on my. That's how scared I am, bro. I ain't never been this scared in my life, dog. It was like report card. Then you got to go home and get that whooping. You heard me? That type of scared. Like I'm about to shit on myself. You heard me? He like sit down. I'm like nah, man. I ain't say I'd rather stand up, bro. You heard me? He like man, I just want to talk to you. Sit down. I know we got off to a bad foot. Just sit down so we could talk. You heard me? While I sat down, I'm shaking like a leaf. You heard me? Mexican like yeah, bro. They say you got jumped for no reason the other day. He like, tell me what happened. So I ran the same story to you. I'm like, yeah, but y'all jumped me for no reason. Brian had nothing to do with it, you heard me? So long story short, he was like, bro, look, you ain't from out here and I won't make the shit right. Cause I'm a stand up guy, you heard me? How we can make this shit right, you heard me? I asked him for a one-on-one fade with the Mexican that hit me. You heard me? I said I want a one-on-one with him. You heard me? And I said I want something done about the black dude. You heard me that hit me. I said I got a brother in LA for him. I want him to catch a fade with my brother. You heard me? He said the black dude he from the Brims. That ain't got nothing to do with us. You heard me? Plus the Brims done heard about this shit and they done took care of it already. They DP'd him and kicked him out and this and that. You're like, as far as your one-on-one fade with my little homeboy, my little Vatos, he said, I ain't giving you that because we seen how you fucked up four of my boys out there. You did. One of my boys still fucked up right now. You heard me? So I ain't giving you no one-on-one fade. You heard me? Like I give you a fade with somebody else. I'm like, nah, bro, I don't get on like that. I only want who did something to me. You heard me? So long story short, he said, how we can make it right. I said, man, bro, y'all got the best crystal meth. Y'all got the best crystal meth in the country. You heard me? I'm like, bro, if you could hit me up for some of that shit, you heard me? I'd be greatly appreciative. We could let it all go. You heard me? It's nothing. He like, that's it. You heard me? He said, man, little Vato's gonna come bring you something in the morning. And he shook my hand. He was like, you sure this over with? I'm like, bro, I swear to God, it's over with, bro. I love y'all. I ain't never had nothing against y'all. You heard me? I ain't from out here to be hating Mexicans. You dig? Where I'm from, I love everybody. You heard me? Next morning, the boy came and dropped me off like 3 or 4 zips, pure crystal meth. You heard me? I'm trying to get a man the money. He said he don't want the money. He said that's on the house. You heard me? But I got that shit back to Louisiana and made about 15, $20,000 off of that. You heard me? Yeah, that's how I really got started. That was before the guns. Before I started doing the guns and shit, bringing the guns back and forth. You heard me?
Now that's real. That's a good up though.
Oh, that's some real shit. I
That's
got niggas
real.
from I got niggas from Cali that I hop on the same screen and vouch for what I'm saying. You heard me? Going back
Now
to
that's real
going back
shit.
to going back to Dago with 20 bands in the bag. You heard me? Walking through the mall. You heard me? Going to Found Bam and this and that. You heard me? With 20 bands on me. You heard me? And the crazy part about it, man, that wasn't even no money to them niggas. You heard me? That's regular.
That's regular. You better
That's
have
regular
that.
to them, dog. That ain't shit, boy. You ain't making no noise. You heard me? But that's
Hmm.
that. But that's how I got started. My little country ass from La Place, Louisiana. You heard me? Way on the West Coast. You heard me? I refuse to go live with Granny because I'm like, bro, I ain't laying on my grandmother leg. You heard me? And that leg, and you dig? My brother was in jail. You heard me? So that's the only nigga I really was clacking with. You heard me? So I had to go to San Diego instead of me going tucking my tail and running back to Louisiana because I'm homeless. I stayed out there and I adapted and made the shit work. And I started from being homeless with nothing to making money, dog. You heard me? To the point where I got caught and had to stay in Louisiana, dog.
Yeah. That's what I call adapting now.
That's adapting.
That's
That's a,
adapting.
that's surviving. That's surviving, fam.
Real shit.
But like I said, I survive anyway. You put me in Oakland, California, it's gonna be the same shit. San Francisco, nigga. The first time I ever bought over 10,000 X pills. You heard me? It was on some fluke shit in San Francisco for some Asians. Some Asians with gold teeth and dreadlocks. It fucked my head up, dog. You heard me? Some Asians with gold teeth and dreadlocks and jabos on. They had jabos and fucking hoodies. You heard me? I met one of them. We started talking. You heard me? We ended up smoking and shit. It just so happened this nigga is the main pill guy for San Francisco. I wasn't. I'm gonna tell you exactly where I'm at. Niggas from the north gonna know what I'm talking about. I wasn't in San Francisco. I was in the suburbs of San Francisco in San Mateo. That's where I was at. San Mateo. You heard me? And bought my first ever 10,000 X pills, and they gave me a discount. You heard me? He said I usually sell them for $1 to the regular people. You heard me? This was around Hurricane Katrina. You heard me? He like, man, since you out here from Hurricane Katrina, but I'm gonna give it to you for 50 cents. I spun 5 bands that got 10 X pills, 10,000 X pills. The smackers. This wasn't no
Yo, love,
bullshit.
love. That love, love. Then you can make $5, $10 a pill.
Oh, back
Oh,
in the day,
trust me.
these pills, These pills $20 a piece. This was like nigga. This was the double stack blue dolphin era, but
Oh
this
yeah,
was the neck. This was the. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it was. It was the first episode of the Naked Ladies,
the naked ladies.
the red one with all the heroin in it.
That's my favorite one too.
Goodwill.